All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shabbat, to all my brothers, Yahweh Shemal, by Hashem, Yahweh Shad, all my sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the Blacks, Hispanic, and Native that they are God's true and only chosen people. And with being God's true and only chosen people comes with a set of responsibilities. And those responsibilities is called the laws of the Bible. And what those set of responsibilities do is set us out to love each other, take care of each other, you know what I'm saying, and look out for each other. And most importantly, it causes a separation from us and everybody else. It causes us to stand out and be different from our enemies, which is A-OK, which is the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And today's subject is segregation is freedom. You know what I'm saying? Segregation is freedom. Contrary to what your Christian church has taught you, that integration is our way of being free. Integration is our way of being loved and respected amongst these nations. It's far from the truth. It's far from the truth. In fact, the evidence is in how our enemy uses our documents and our culture to have superiority over us. You know what I'm saying? It has all that over us. Why? Because they are using our documents of segregation, but to gain power. If you look at the so-called Jewish man, he is separate from everybody else. He's not like everybody else. He ain't in everybody's faces. He's not like trying to be buddy with everybody. He's not begging for love. He's not doing none of that. He's not doing the things we're doing. And what does that call? That calls other nations to respect them. And that's what we lack. We lack respect as a people. Well, I'm gonna open up the classes to questions. If you have any questions, type them on in. You know what I'm saying? Type on in. I'm gonna open up the class to questions. As I share this class, also share, like, type in your questions. You know what I'm saying? This is a class. This is not a church service. This is a class. Unlike the Christian church, we ain't trying to brainwash y'all. We want y'all to come up with questions. We want y'all to oppose us. We want all that. Because we don't want to leave no stone unturned that makes you doubt what we're saying. Not one. You know what I'm saying? So type in your questions. I'm about to get my share on. Today's going to be a milky class. It's going to be about as milky as it gets. You know what I'm saying? Get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. If you got any questions, type them on in. All right, we're broadcasting live from the Tickety Top, and we're broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We on Facebook under Boston Uno West, on YouTube under Boston and the ISUPK Boston. You know what I'm saying? So let's get with it. No questions? Okay, y'all know the Bible. Y'all understand the Bible. Understand. So if y'all understand the Bible, answer this question for me real quick. Answer this question. What does holy mean? What is the definition, the biblical definition? Not the worldly definition, not the common understanding of today, because things have changed over time. But when they said holy, when Christ said holy, what did it mean? When Moses said holy, what did it mean? When King David said holy, when Daniel said holy, when, you know what I'm saying, all the prophets said the word holy, what did it mean? What were they saying? That's why I'm asking you the biblical definition. If you know it, type it in. If you know it, type it in. Type it in. Got it, type it in. All right. For the sake of time, let's see nobody's popping it up. For the sake of time, the word holy means to be separate, set apart. It doesn't mean to be extra spiritual. It doesn't mean to be extra righteous. It doesn't mean to be, any of the things that the Christian church teaches you that it means today. The word holy simply just means, you know what I'm saying? It simply just means um, set apart, different. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, we're going to get into one of the verses. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Give y'all a couple of seconds to get there. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. It's lucky, y'all. I was looking for it, but can't find something. But let's get to the verse real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. We are a holy people. We are a separate people. We are a set apart people. We are a different type of people unto the Lord our God. That means the Lord our God deems us to be not like everybody else. And you can see the evidence in that in everyday living. In everyday living, you can see that we are not like Asians. You can see that we are not like Africans. You can see that we are not like, Caucasians. We are not like East Indians. We are different. No matter how much y'all believe hip hop is blending cultures, it is not blending them enough. You can see we still stand out in all things. Black, Hispanic, and Native stand out in everything. If you think about it, we are superior in sports, physical, and educational things. We have a certain bravado about us. We have a certain style about us that stands out. We could take something that the world deems as normal or boring and corny and make it the hip new fashion trend, or the, you know what I'm saying, the hip new thing to do. Because we're not like everybody else. We give this world flavor. The scriptures say that we, Israel, Black, Hispanic, and Natives, are the salt of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my fault. I've been neglecting Instagram. Let me see what's going on in Instagram. What's going on? What's going on? Any questions? No questions? All right. The scriptures say that Black, Hispanics, and Natives are the salt of the earth. What does salt of the earth mean? That means we give the earth flavor. We give this world a little style, a little fun, a little pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you had chicken with no salt on it, but it's not the most delicious thing on the planet. Sprinkle a little salt on it. It has flavor. It's no longer bland. The world will be bland without us. It'll be completely bland. You know what I'm saying? That's why we are a holy people unto God. That's why we are a separate, set apart people unto the Lord our God. Let us continue. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. He has chosen us to be a special people unto himself. He didn't have to do that. We could have all the flavor, all the style, all the, physical strength, all the speed, all the intelligence in the world. We could have all that. But if he didn't want to choose us, he didn't have to. But he did. He chose us to represent him. He chose us to be set apart. He chose us to have those law, statutes, commandments, and love each other like we should. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Sorry, Christians, yes. Racial superiority is in the scripture. He chose us to be special above all people that are upon the face of the earth. These ain't my words. These are not my words. These are the scriptures. The Lord our God has chosen Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives to be special above all people that are upon the face of the earth. All people. That doesn't show equality. That doesn't show integration. That doesn't show a melting pot. That doesn't show the swirl. That doesn't show none of that. That shows that we are superior above him. You know what I'm saying? Above all of them. Period. But let's drop that. Let's get Proverbs 11 and 21. Proverbs 11 and 21. If you got any questions, type them on in. Any questions at all, type them on in. And state where you at. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a shout out. State where you at. Where you from? If you don't want me to shout you out, just put that in there. I still would like to know who's up in here. For Proverbs 11. Hold on. I typed that in wrong. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, what does that mean? Though hand join in hand, what does that mean? Though hand join in hand. There's a popular photo or drawing, popular art piece that is about so-called racial unity, so-called racial equality. That's when a black hand is shaking hands with a white hand, or it's when a bunch of different complexions of hands representing different nations of people are interlocking with each other to show that they are one unit, to show that they are equal, to show that they love each other, whatever it may be. Though hand joining hand is a real thing. It's when you start to love those who are oppressing you, joining hand in hand, when you start to agree with those who are oppressing you, start to join their culture and live by their laws and practices. That's what joining hand in hand is. Though joining hand in hand, you know what I'm saying? Let's continue. The wicked shall not be unpunished. Let me tell you something. That man that you holding hands with, no matter how much God may love you and your people, that wicked man that oppressed you and your people, that wicked man that attempts to destroy and murder you and your people, that wicked man that will shoot unarmed women and throw them in the trash, those wicked people that will bust in a man's house and kill him, those wicked people that will shoot unarmed teenagers, that would tie their bodies up to trucks and drag them along the streets, those wicked people. Though you may join hand in hand, though you may love them, though you may think you're free in their country, because it is their country. You may think you're free in it. You may think if there's some type of signs of equality, you got the same opportunity that they do. You may believe this. Though join in hand. What did the scripture say? The wicked shall not be unpunished. The wicked shall not be unpunished. The Most High got something coming for them. And it'd be smart if you're not holding their hand. It'd be smart if you're not joining hand in hand with them. That would just be the smart thing to do. Because if you join hand in hand with them, that belt might just hit you too. That punishment you might just taste a bit of that punishment too. The wicked shall not go unpunished. And the truth is, you're really joining hand in hand for a reason. You're really integrating. I said integrating. My bad. You're really assimilating into this country for a reason. You're assimilating. You could believe that it's for racial equality and you love everybody and all lives matter. You may believe that, but really the truth is you're doing it for your own filthy lusts and desires. You wish to have the same seat that your oppressor has. You wish to do all the nasty, dirty deeds that they do. That's why you join hand in hand with them. You want to be where he's at. You envy your oppressor. And that's something that you should not ever do. And that's why the Bible draws us to segregate. Because now you will become wicked once you assimilate into their way of life. Once you assimilate into their way of life, you become just like them, and then you'll become a part of the punishments. You'll end up part of the problem. You see what happened with those black cops that killed that brother. What's that brother's name? Tyree Nichols, I believe. When those 5 black cops killed that brother, those 5 black cops assimilated into the society. Those 5 black cops wanted to be so much a part of the American dream that they will kill their own people. You know, Moses had a chance to join the Egyptian dream, to be a big, huge part of the Egyptian society. He had that opportunity. But as soon as he seen one Egyptian slave driver oppress another Israelite, you know what Moses did? He killed that Egyptian. And may I say, Moses wasn't right to do that. Moses was not supposed to attack that Egyptian slave driver. Because revenge is of the Lord. But the passion and the zeal and the love that he had for his people is an example. And that's something that only the ISUPK have in this world today. There's imitations of the ISUPK out there that are cops, that are just like those 5 brothers that killed Tyree Nichols, that are police officers that want to join this society and assimilate into the society so bad that they will not help those that are downtrodden, that are of their own people. They only help the rich of their people, the affluent. That's who they help of their people. For us in the ISUPK, we help the poor. We help each other. We even help the rich. We help everybody that is Black, Hispanic, and Native and is under the thumb of those that oppress us. And that's how we're segregating. That's how we're segregating. Because right now, you about to celebrate a holiday this weekend called Juneteenth. Your master allowed you to celebrate it. And all of a sudden, you think you're free. You're not free because he's allowing you to celebrate it. Juneteenth been around for how long? 200 some change? And look, we're just now celebrating it. But let me tell you something. We're not free because we're still accepting their breadcrumbs. We're still accepting their culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, there were a lot of offshoots, you know what I'm saying, groups. Like Boston been celebrating Juneteenth for at least about 20 years. At least 20 years. They call it the Roxbury Homecoming. And in years past, it was a Black thing. It was nothing but Black and Hispanics at these events, right? Nothing but Black and Hispanic and Native people walking all through this thing, right? And now, since the government allowed us to celebrate this day, now the government's involved. He's allowing us to celebrate it. Now he's stomping all through the Roxbury Homecoming, but not just the Roxbury Homecoming. He's having his own Juneteenth events in neighborhoods that have nothing to do with our people. Having it in Brighton. Brighton is like a very Jewish community. It's not for our people. You know what I'm saying? It's not us. You know what I'm saying? That is them. But they want to have a Juneteenth celebration in their neighborhood. You know why? Because they want to force us to assimilate into their society a little more. Let's celebrate together your so-called freedom. And when you're celebrating with your master, your freedom, guess what? You're really not free. You're really not free. What makes you think your master wants to celebrate your freedom? Your freedom ain't beneficial to him. That's nothing to celebrate. Nothing to celebrate at all. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't benefit from that. But let's continue. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. What is the seed of the righteous? Who is the seed of the righteous? Who knows what the seed of the righteous is? Let me put you on game. The seed of the righteous is Black, Hispanic, and Native people. The true Israelites of the Bible. The Most High don't want to punish us with them. But if we separate, and segregate from our enemies and don't assimilate into their society, we shall be delivered from the war that's to come, from the hell that our enemy's about to go through. I don't know if you see it brewing, but there's going to be a third world war. I mean, technically, we're in it right now. They're in the proxy part of the war. I don't know if y'all understand, but there's proxy wars where they prepping up for it, they threatening each other, they puffing up their chests, and you know what I'm saying? Every country is doing that right now. From Russia and Ukraine to China and America to everybody. Everybody's doing it, and everybody's gonna have to pick a side real soon. All the sides ain't picked yet. Everybody's trying to be political at this point, but something's gonna happen that's gonna force everybody to choose a side. And when those sides are choose, bombs gonna start dropping. And when bombs start dropping, you don't want to be a part of that. Just sit back, grab the popcorn, enjoy the show. You see what's happening in Ukraine. I hope you Black and Hispanic and Native peoples are just sitting back and enjoying it. Hope y'all not trying to get involved and pick a side with that. No, those are your enemies fighting each other. Those are your enemies fighting each other, and that's a beautiful thing. But don't pick a side. Don't sympathize with either side. Just cheer for every death that happens on both sides. Cheer for that. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's continue. Matter of fact, let's drop that. Let's get first Esdras. First Esdras. 8 and 85. This is one of my favorite scriptures. This is in the Apocrypha. If you don't know what the Apocrypha is, I suggest you do some research on the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha is a beautiful book. You know what I'm saying? The Apocrypha was a beautiful, great book that the Roman Catholic Church took out of the Bible and made a collection of these books and called it the Apocrypha, which means collection of hidden books. So I suggest that y'all get into it, do some research on that, and understand how much it is really a part of the scriptures, how much it fits in, how true it is to the life that we live today, how true it is to the life they lived back then. You know what I'm saying? So let's go with First Esdras 8, verse 85. I don't know if you're there, but read along with me. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them. That's our problem in this country. That's our problem in this society, in this world today. We are out there screaming out Black Lives Matter. We are out there screaming out no justice, no peace. We are out there begging for love and respect from a people that will never give it to us. They will never give us that love. They will never give us that peace. But we stay begging them for it time after time again. You know it's election time, right? So you're going to see more and more Black people dying on camera. You're going to see more and more of that. You know what I'm saying? And what happens when we do that? We don't separate from them. You're going to see the victim's family on television talking about, I forgive them. The Lord told me to forgive them. That's another problem with Christianity. That's another problem with it. It takes the fight out of our people. It takes the bravado. It takes the... Remember, the Bible said the Lord is a man of war. What should you be? If you are a child of the Lord, you should be a child of war. You should be a prince of war. Because our power is a man of war. And if you just accept your oppressor and forgive your oppressor and be like Botham John's brother, hugging the woman that killed his brother in his home, unprovoked, or like the judge that gave her Bible to that same woman, or like the bailiff that stroked that woman's hair so she could be comfortable in the courtroom and soothe her from her worries and pain. That's our problem as a people. That is our problem. We love our oppressor too much. And we don't see how we should separate from him. You know what I'm saying? Let's read that from again. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them. That judge, that bailiff, and Botham John's brother seek to have peace with the woman that killed that man. When we're marching out, screaming out Black Lives Matter, we are seeking peace with those police officers. We are seeking love and respect from those who really have no interest in giving it to us. I mean, people respect their enemies. They do not respect slaves. And all that marching and begging and forgiving just proves how much of a slave we actually still are. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue with it. That ye may be strong. How you going to be strong? To see, right now we are weak as a people. We are weak as a nation. Know why we are weak? Let me tell you why we are weak. You know what I'm saying? We are weak as a nation simply because we are seeking peace with those enemies of ours. We are seeking peace. Is that fake Jewish man, is those fake Jewish people seeking peace with the Palestinians, or the Palestinians seeking peace with them? No. Who is America really seeking peace with? Yeah, they pretend to be a peacemaker, but they're really not. They're bullies. And they got the world's respect. The world treads lightly when it comes to America. But the world does not tread lightly when it comes to you. When it comes to Black, Hispanic, and Native, the world does not tread lightly. That's why you got Asians killing us. Asians blatantly killing us. White people just shooting us right through the door, just shooting a woman after she stole that Black woman's child's, what was it, an iPad or something to that effect, tablet. She stole that woman's child's tablet. And then when that woman comes to retrieve it, you shoot her through the door and claim you were scared for your life. Y'all don't see the issue here? You seeking peace with them will never result in peace. Every 4 years, we would go through the same things over and over and over again. They will highlight every death we have when it's time for election because they want to pull on your heartstrings. So you could cast a vote on whichever side is pulling the hardest. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of voting, don't vote. Voting is another form of assimilating into a culture that wants you dead. If you vote, you are part of the problem. You're not free. Only slaves vote. Free men make decisions on their own, solve their own problems. They don't look to their enemies to solve their problems. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. That ye may be strong and eat the good things of the land. Once we stop depending on our enemy, once we stop depending on those that hate us, guess what? We will be strong. You know what I'm saying? We will eat the good things of the land, and there's evidence in that. right after we were so-called set free, which we wasn't. So reword that. Let's say right after the chains was taken off, we were setting up cities all over this country. We was establishing cities and towns all over this country. Businesses, inventions, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Billionaires, we was doing it. We had our own before assimilation, not too far after what's the name, but what happened? What happened? Why don't we got our own today? If you in the chat, type, why don't we have our own today? Where's our own black city? Where's our own black neighborhood? Asians got Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? Little Jewish people, they got their neighborhood that is actually policed by them. What do we have and why don't we have it? Let me tell you what we don't have. Because y'all might be too shy, too afraid, too nervous to type it in the chat. But let me tell you, it's because of Martin Luther King and his dream. It's because of integration why we don't have nothing. You wanted to sit in their restaurant so bad that you forgot that we had our own restaurants. We had our own restaurants that actually seasoned the chicken. Now we're giving our money to their restaurants with their unseasoned chicken instead of to our restaurants with the seasoned chicken, with the superior quality of merchandise. So we go with the inferior brand, which is our enemy. And now we are weak and they are strong because we gave them all our funds. Once upon a time, it took months for $1 to exit the black community. At least months. That means that money circulated and stayed in here. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to see a movie, there were black movie theaters. You wanted a black plumber to come fix your sink, we had black plumbers. Did you know that we actually have black makes and models of cars? We had our own car manufacturer. There's a lot of things that we had that we do not have today because we want to assimilate with them. We want to assimilate with our enemy, which is the problem, which is why we are weak today, which is why we are looking very soft in the eyes. That's why we don't have a nation. That's why we have no land. That's why we have no last name. That's why we have no language. That's why we have no culture. Because we want theirs. We want to sit at the table with the cool kids instead of just be amongst each other and show how much we're cooler than them. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's continue with it. That ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children forevermore. What inheritance do we have today? If we stay segregated and separated, those little rinky-dink stores would have been at least an inheritance for our kids. That little shack, that little rinky-dink shack in a torn down black neighborhood, that would have been an inheritance to our children. But we don't have that anymore. We don't have that because we assimilated. Because we needed the enemy's approval and love and acceptance and respect and peace. Seeking their peace was our destruction. Seeking their love was our destruction. That's why we are still slaves. Free men don't seek their enemy's love. Free men don't seek their enemy's respect. Free men go to war. Free men go to war. You are not free. You are assimilated property You know what I'm saying? And we need to get out of that mind state. We need to get out of that mind state and start loving each other and taking care of each other like free men do. Suffering with each other like free men do. When this country was established, you think our oppressor had it smooth and easy? He wasn't even prepared for the weather. He wasn't even prepared for the weather and the terrain. You know what I'm saying? But he suffered with his people and formed this massive, powerful country called America. Take a lesson from that. We need to suffer with each other like we did fresh out of them chains. When we came out of those chains, we suffered with each other and formed those cities and towns. It wasn't easy. Yeah, we formed them quicker than they formed this country, but it wasn't easy. And we're going to have to suffer again. I know a lot of y'all are too scared and ain't prepared to suffer. Y'all got it too good now. Y'all got it way too good now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all women can't go a week without your hair done. A lot of y'all brothers need that lineup ASAP. But let me tell you something. Suffer. Suffer with your people. That's the only way we're getting out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way out of it. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's drop that. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's repeat what I just said. I think it's 7. Go with 6. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 6. Now, this is this is proof that the Apocrypha is part of the scriptures. Because it says the exact same thing. And what did it just say here? Thou shalt not seek their peace. We should not be seeking their peace. We went over that. But there's another part to it that we should not be seeking. You know what I'm saying? Nor their prosperity. That's our problem too. We're always trying to keep up with the Smiths and the Joneses. We are always trying to keep up with our oppressor. We envy our oppressor. We see how he's living and we want to live like that. You know what I'm saying? We want to live like that. We grew up, let's say in the 20s, 30s, you know what I'm saying? We had our own clubs and juke joints and all throughout the Chitlin circuit. Our people heard each other's music all throughout the country without the mass distribution, without the machine of our enemy behind it, right? And the brothers and sisters, they make much money, but you know, they were able to survive with the little change that came from these juke joints and these small little hole in the wall, you know, meeting places. And it wasn't enough. We were seeing how they had their flashy clubs with the big chandeliers and the grand mic stands and the big stages and the orchestra in the back. And we wanted that look. So what did we do? We assimilated. We signed those contracts and joined their world. We had our own Negro League where we played baseball. We were superior athletes, so our brand was blatantly more entertaining. And there was a time when they were seeing that. They were seeing how that we were slowly grabbing the attention of the masses. and the Negro League was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And what was the Major League of Baseball's plan? What was the National League and the American League's plan? To destroy the Negro League. So what did they do? They had traitors. They found traitors to assimilate and join the MLB, to join the National League, to join the American League. They took players out of the Negro League. So now we can entertain them with our athletic prowess. We could entertain them with our feats of athleticism, our speed and our power. We can entertain them with such things. So now the Negro League no longer exists, because now we give our money to the Major League of Baseball and not to the Negro League, because we wanted to assimilate. We wanted to chase their prosperity. They showed Jackie Robinson that check, and he took it. He could have enjoyed a little change with his own people, but no. He took that check from his enemy. And now there's no Negro League. See, this is the issue with assimilation. This is the issue with so-called integration, with Martin Luther King's dream. We end up on the losing side every time. Every single time, we end up on that losing side. But let's continue. Now, nor their prosperity all thy days forever. We should never be interested in chasing their prosperity. We should never envy our oppressor to the point we want to be like them. Yeah, they got the big money. It's their money. Their faces are on it. So instead of creating our own currency, what do? We chase after theirs. We want to be just like them. To the point we are doing that today. Why do black men sell drugs? They say it's to feed their family. I understand. I used to be there. I was in those shoes. I got kids to feed. You know what I'm saying? We're hard. We're struggling. Yeah, that sounds good. But the truth is, you're really selling drugs to your own people, because the simple fact is you envy your oppressor. You want to be just like him. That's why you sell drugs. It ain't for your kids. It's so you can have as much money and have that same look coming out of the BMW dealership as your enemy does. You know what I'm saying? That's why you do it. Why does a black woman have an OnlyFans page? Money. Chasing their prosperity. That's why she's on the stripper pole. Why do so many of our people sell out and join the military? Chasing their prosperity. You think we actually care about this country? You think we actually do? We're willing to sacrifice our lives just so we could have their prosperity. And that's the issue with us in America. Stop chasing their prosperity. Stop seeking their peace. It's of no value to us as a people. We will stay behind as long as we continue to do so. You know what I'm saying? As long as we continue to march and say Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace, we shall overcome, we will continue to be at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? They are not the source of our power. They can't give us none because they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's drop that. Let's go back to First Esdras, to that same chapter. Go back to that same chapter, First Esdras 8. So with 87. I think it's only a couple verses there. I think it's only a couple verses down. Let me pop it on here because that is it. All right. If you're back in the Apocrypha with me, read along. If not, just hear me out. Go on your own Google machine, search up the Apocrypha, or search up the scripture that I have on the screen. It'll pop up. It's in the King James Version 1611. Okay. And this give unto us such a root. See, the Most High gave us a root. What is this root? We have a root. Ask yourself, what does a root do? What does a root do? A root stabilizes a plant. It grounds a plant. It don't only just ground and stabilize the plant, also feeds the plant. That's how the plant gains its nourishment. That's how the plant gains its strength. Is from that root. And what gives what gives Black, Hispanic, and Natives our strength? What gives us our grounding? What stabilizes us? Let's read. But we have turned back again to transgress thy law, and to mingle ourselves with the uncleanness of the nations of the land. See, we went against that root. How did we go against that root? We started mingling with the nations and the unclean things that they do. That's what we started doing. So if we didn't mingle with the nations and the uncleanness that they do, guess what? That is our root. Segregation is our root. Separation is our root. Being set apart is our root. Being holy is our root. It's been our root way back in Deuteronomy. That is our root. That is our strength. That's what stabilizes us. And that whole concept right now is stabilizing a whole country and a whole community of people that choose to use our documents and oppress us with our own culture. And oppress us with our own culture. That's what they are doing. When if we just followed the law, statutes, and commandments and separated ourselves from our enemies, stop seeking the peace of our enemies, guess what would happen? That would be our strength. That would be our strength. And that would have been glorious. We would have been set apart. We would have had our own country by now. Would have took back over our land, had our own rules, our own constitution, our own culture to live by, instead of celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the Juneteenth, and all the things that we do celebrate. We'd be actually able to celebrate our actual freedom instead of celebrating this made up mock freedom that we have. It's not even real. You know what I'm saying? We're still slaves. If it was real, if it was truly free, we'll be free. We will have our own culture, our own land, our own constitution. You know what I'm saying? We will have our own spirituality. We have our own economics. We'll have our own language. We'll have everything that makes a people a people. But we don't have that. We don't have that. Let's continue. And this give unto us such a root, but we have turned back again. We have turned away from our root. Our root was segregation, but we turned away from it. We are currently turned away from our root right now. And what is that root? That root is segregation. How do we turn away from it? By integrating. Jackie Robinson turned away from that root. Martin Luther King turned away from that root. Michael Jackson turned away from that root. Kanye West turned away from that root. Kobe Bryant turned away from that root. Oprah Winfrey turned away from that root. All the people that you look up to, all the cops, all the police officers, all the politicians, they turned away from that root and have assimilated with a people that does not love us. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get Let's go with Exodus. No, let's go with Ecclesiasticus. Let's stay in the Apocrypha real quick. Ecclesiasticus 12. Yeah, let's go to 12. This one's another heavy one. Let's start with 10. We're going to go through quite a few verses here. This is still in the Apocrypha. We're going to go through quite a few verses. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'll start up. Yeah, let's start at 9, matter of fact. Let's start at 9. We're going to start at 9. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 9. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. In your prosperity, an enemy will be grieved. That's why assimilation and integration is so important. Because as long as we assimilate and we are following their rules, we cannot prosper. Once they took off those chains and they seen us prospering, they seen cities like Rosewood, Seneca Village, you know what I'm saying, Tulsa, Oklahoma. They seen these neighborhoods growing and prospering. What did they do? Burnt them down. What did they do? Destroy them, destroy the people of it, destroy that way of thinking and the spirit behind forming our own. They destroyed all that. By them destroying our own, we grew scared. We started to fear them. And with that fear came integration. With that fear came, you know what I'm saying, MLK and his dream. You know what I'm saying? That's what fear brought. You know what I'm saying? Because they were grieved at our prosperity. That proves we're still slaves. Our master don't want to see us grow. Our master don't want to see us free. So we have to integrate because they will be in full control of our progress if we integrate. They let us truly free, they have no control over it. They'll have no control over it. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. But in his adversity, even a friend will depart. In our adversity, in our problems, in the hell that we went through, Jackie Robinson departed. Martin Luther King departed. You know what I'm saying? Oprah departed. Kanye West departed. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan departed. All these people that we so-called look up to. All these police officers, these cops, these politicians, all of them have departed. All these like Clarence Thomas, well, we all know he departed. All of them departed. So what are we left to do? You know what I'm saying? What are we left to do? Let's continue. Never trust thine enemy. That's a key word right there. Verse 10 says, never trust thine enemy. That is something that we have to understand as a people, that we can't trust our enemy. We can't trust our oppressor at all. You know what I'm saying? We absolutely can't. Our oppressor is the reason why we are still in the situation we are in today. Loving and wanting to hold hands with those filthy people, those disgusting people, is why we are still in the situation we're in. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Never trust thine enemy. See, the problem is we trust them. That's why you vote. You vote because you trust that they could solve our issues. That's why you march and protest, because you believe that they could solve our issues. You trust in the fact that they will solve our issues. You trust that they will appreciate you and love you and give you peace. Has it worked? We've been doing the same thing since the 60s. Has it worked? Ask yourself that. All the hell that we went through, has it worked? That's right, Wendigo. The U.S. government does hate us. And the people that control the government, even the small and the poor amongst them, they hate us. All of them hate us. Think Kanye West's wife loves Kanye? She doesn't. Kim Kardashian already proved she didn't. Think any of them love us? They don't. You know what I'm saying? They absolutely don't. None of them. It's just that simple. None of them love us. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue with it. Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, though he humble himself and go crouching. Who remembers when what's her name? Hillary Clinton, right? She went on the Breakfast Club, took out some hot sauce. That's her, that's them crouching. Biden talked to Charlemagne and try to say you ain't black. That's them crouching. That's a form of them crouching. That's them trying to pander to us, trying to gain some sympathy from us, pull on our heartstrings. When you see these videos that seem to only pop up, even though it happens all the time, black people getting killed on camera all the time, but don't seem like there's a major push for it till there is some type of election going down. That's the only time there's a push for it. Though he may be crouching, they want to pull on your heartstrings. They want to act like they actually care about us. They pretend to. They want your vote. They want your vote. Oh, Shalom says Yahweh Shemala Thabah Shem Yahweh Shah. They want your vote for real. Should you give it to them? Should you actually assimilate? Remember, the scriptures say we should not seek their peace nor their prosperity. That is our strength. That's where we get our strength. That is our root. Segregation is our root. These laws, statutes, and commandments, that's what segregates us from it. And that is our root. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Though he humble himself and go crouching, thou shalt not be unto him as if thou wast wiped a looking glass. Let me repeat that. And thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped a looking glass. What's a looking glass? There's two types of looking glass. What's a looking glass? I'll give you a sec to type in. What's a looking glass? There's two types of looking glasses. There's two types of looking glasses. Magnifying glass, telescope, yep. You're absolutely right. So if you wiped a telescope, you wiped a magnifying glass, and you're going to see him clearly for who he is, and everything's going to be amplified. All that rust that's on him, all those things that, you know what I'm saying? You're going to start to see the devil for the devil that he is. You wipe that looking glass. But there's another looking glass. There's another looking glass. And that's a mirror. It's going to be, although as you wipe the mirror clean, because you loving him, you will see the flaws in yourself too. When everything hits the fan, you're going to understand that your love for him was an issue, that your love for him was a problem. It's going to be as though you wiped the looking glass clear. You wiped it down. Everything's going to be clear to you. You're going to see the enemy for just who he is. No matter how much he comes begging and trying to pander and sympathize, you're going to see him for just who he is. Let's continue. And go crouching, ye take good heed and beware of him. Listen, that rust is showing. That rust is showing. Take good heed and beware of him. Kanye should have took good heed and beware of Kim Kardashian. I mean, Ray J gave him every opportunity to know and take good heed and caution and stay the hell away from her. She was not a woman of quality. But what did he do? He let his lust and his drive to seek their prosperity motivate him to be with such a woman. Now he got what, 2-3 kids from the devil? 18 years. 18 years. She gonna be oppressing him. She's all sad that she's a single mama now. She rich as hell, he rich as hell. But she a single mama. Her oppression is so much like black women's. Oh man. She feels y'all pain. She's pandering. She's crouching down. She is crouching down. She feels your pain, black woman. You know, her billionaire ex-husband, baby daddy, you know what I'm saying? And her being a millionaire herself, she feels your pain. She is a single mother. He got 4 of them with her. Good night. That billionaire got 4 babies by that woman. And she is a hurt single mother. He ain't helping her at all with these kids. She ain't seeing a dime, I guess. I don't know. Should have just gave him custody. You know what I'm saying? Should have just gave him custody and she wouldn't be a single mama. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Verse 12. Set him not by thee, these devils. Don't have them next to you. Don't set him by you. Don't set him up to be great and strong and powerful. You know what I'm saying? Don't set him by thee. Don't let him be your best friend. Don't let him be your business partner. Don't let him do none of that. Because his rust is going to show. His rust is for sure going to show. Don't set him by you. You know what I'm saying? Lest when he have overthrown thee, look, our enemy's going to overthrow you. You set him by you, he will overthrow you. He will take everything you have. Because that's who he is. He's a thief that will not leave a grape in your house. He will leave nothing. You see what he did to the native brothers and sisters. Took the whole country, and what did he do? He put them on reservations. Got the world thinking that the reservations is native property. No. The reservations are still government property. They're government property. You know what I'm saying? Those brothers and sisters they're going through hell in those reservations. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. He stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked with therewith. Look, right now, you may be listening to this class and you may be doubting everything I'm saying. You may be doubting everything I'm saying. What does fool say? Why should they not believe Jesus? I don't even know what he's talking about. But understand this, you know what I'm saying? It's how may I put it? You are in this class right now, and you may be like, no, no, no. You got to love everybody. You're believing to the understanding that you were grown up with, that you should love everybody, like the Christian church has taught you. I understand. And you're going to have friends, and you're going to have your enemy as your friend. You're going to have Caucasian friends, Asian friends, whatever it may be, right? Friends that are not your people. And you're going to end up like that sister that went to a sleepover as a grown-ass woman with other grown-ass Caucasian women. And that sister ends up dead. Dead. I forgot the sister's name. I had a whole class on her a couple of weeks ago. You're going to see stuff like that. And then you're going to be pricked by the words I'm speaking to you today. You're going to be reminded. They're going to be poking you like right up in your eye. You're going to be like, ooh. You're going to understand everything I'm saying. There's going to be a moment in your life that you're going to be like, ooh, those crazy Negroes on the street corner that's yelling at white people, they are correct. They were right. You're going to be saying all that. You're going to be pricked by these words that I'm speaking to you. You're going to be reminded on how much of a devil that they are. I mean, you may forget again because you're pricked by our words every 4 years when they start showing you cops killing black people during election time. You're pricked by them. You're pricked by them then. But you forget because you think that the person you voted for is going to solve your issues. And then another 4 years come around and then you're pricked by them again. Because we told you not to vote. We told you not to love them. We told you not to think that they're going to solve your issues. We told you that they are devils. They are murderers. They are thieves. They are about the evilest thing that ever existed. We told you that. We told you that. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. See, Rufeja, whatever your name is, right? Love everyone, but this is the Bible I'm reading from, where it says, trust not thy enemies. See, the enemies that it's talking about in that context in the New Testament is talking about the enemies of your people, because they were talking about those who have the follow Gentile customs. Those enemies. It's talking about those who have assimilated into our enemy's way of life. We still have to love our own people. Christ did not die for everyone. Christ did not love everybody. And that's something that you're going to have to understand. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what else is going on. That's right. It says Christ and the Most High are two different people. They are not the same person. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to understand, that our enemy out here is causing all types of confusion with us. It's causing all types of confusion. Let these words prick you again. Our enemy causes confusion with us, even within our own spirituality. This Bible that you read It's not a religious book. I know our enemy has you believing that it's a religious book, but it's not. This Bible is actually a historical book. It's actually a constitution. It's actually historical references of a certain culture of people. This book is not for everybody, period. It is spoken from one point of view from beginning to end, and that is the view of Israelites. That's it. No other nation has a word in these scriptures. No other nation jotted down a word in these scriptures but Israelites. You know what I'm saying? That's the only people that jotted down a word in these scriptures. Israelites, Black, Hispanic, and Native people. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? I told you to stay away from those people. That's why you got pricked. The Isupk been telling y'all to stay away from these devils since 1969. The Isupk been telling you to stay away from these evil people that want nothing but ill for you. That's it. We've been talking about segregation and separation around the same time that it was allowed for us to integrate. The same time integration happened, we've been telling y'all this ain't going to work. This is not it. This is a step backwards. This is not progress. And nobody believed us. So may these words prick you. May it be a form of I told you so. May you learn and grow from it. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? We told you to stay away from him. So when you end up getting attacked, end up thrown in jail, end up disappointed, end up unemployed, end up whatever, the devil's going to do something to you because you ain't want to listen to us. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed to happen that a devil's going to do something to you. Guaranteed. No matter how much you want to pretend, what this fool saying, the issue people today come in all skin colors. Israel people share the land with different people. Oh man, see, that's part of the deception. To be an Israelite, you got to be part of a bloodline. It's not a religion. Being Jewish means that you are a person who follows Judaism, which is a religion that a group of people made imitating us, taking our records. It's not a nation of people. The Bible's all about a nation of people. And them Ishi people are not that people. Black, Hispanic, and Native people are the true Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And with that being said, these records belong to us. This culture belongs to us. The word and the laws of God are so perfect that even though they meant for us, they still work for other people. They don't work perfectly for other people, but they still work for other people. Now, if those issues that are in the land today were actually holy, were actually set apart, were actually separate, they wouldn't be having pride parades all throughout our land, all throughout the holy land of Israel. They have pride parades. They still serve pork. Nothing about that place is right. It's all love over there. Know why? Because they are not of God. God is not of love. God is perfect. He is of love and of hate. So, Will, what if a Native or Latino or Black American is mixed white? Are they still Israelites? Depends. What is their father? If their father is an Israelite, if their father is a Black, Native, or Hispanic person, then they are Israelites. The seed goes through the father. But back to the lessons. Salaki, I digress. But who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Who's going to pity? Like, you're not going to pity somebody that does something stupid. You're not going to feel bad for them. You ain't going to pity a snake charmer. You know, somebody who think they could get something from our enemy. Somebody who wants to play games with. You ain't going to pity those that come near wild beasts who think he could be buddy with a bear. Our enemy is a bear. Our enemy is a lion. Our enemy is a predator. He is about as evil as it gets. So you come near wild beasts, you come near our enemy, I ain't gonna feel bad for you. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down, I told you so. The Isupk been telling you this since 1969. Now come on home and get right. Come stand amongst your brothers and get right. Because you're talking about a people, a nation of people that will straight up have memorabilia of slaughtering Black, Hispanic, and Natives. Do y'all know the largest mass lynching was of Native American people? In fact, they made a spoon of it. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Hold on. Look at this joint right here, right there, right there. Now look at that. Look at that right there. Hanging 38, I don't know how to pronounce that word, Seahawks in 1862 in Mankato, Minnesota. Hung all those brothers, hung all people. And these are the people that you choose to love. These are the people that you choose to have faith in. That will hang 38 brothers and sisters and make a memory out of it, make a memorabilia out of it, make a spoon out of it, and pass it down throughout their generations. You know what I'm saying? Spoon comes in a commemorative box. Look at this box. Look at this box. Look at this box. Box is lined with velvet and silk. And these are the people that you choose to line yourself up with. These are the people that you choose to love. My words is going to prick you one day. You're going to be reminded. You're going to be reminded that this is dealing with them is not the way. Dealing with them is not the route. Dealing with them is a step backwards. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's continue. Verse 14. So one that goes to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? So you are the same as a snake charmer, because our enemy is sinning. We see all the sins he do. He's a junkie, he's a drug dealer. We end up being junkies and drug dealers. He is lascivious, he is a sexual deviant. We end up being lascivious and sexual deviants. He is a greedy, money-hungry, rapist, pedophile bastard. And we end up being the same thing. You know why? Because we wanted to come near him. We wanted to charm him and come near him. Now we are doing the same sin that he's doing. Which is why nobody pities us as a nation. Who's going to pity you? Who's going to pity you? We don't even pity ourselves. Only people that pity Black, Hispanic, and Native people is the brothers and sisters of the ISUPK. Because if they truly did pity us, they'd be trying to solve the issue. They don't want to solve it. They want to exploit it. Everybody wants to exploit it. Everybody wants to push it forward. Everybody wants to do this and that and do that. But we actually want to solve the issue. And to solve the issue, you must solve it as an individual. And start following these law, statutes, and commandments as an individual. And then we start solving as a people by coming together with your brothers and teaching other individuals. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. For a while he will abide with thee. Yo, your enemy will rock with you for a bit. You see, Biden rocked with us for a bit. Hell, even Trump rocked with us for a bit. Remember, at one point in the late 90s, early 2G, Trump was in all the rap videos. Trump was spoken in a lot of rap songs, man. Trump was about as hip hop as Jay-Z. They abide with you for a bit. But let's continue. For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. You begin to fall, he will not tarry. I want you to look into your own personal lives. I know you must have had a Caucasian friend at some point. We all had Caucasian friends at some point. Think about that Caucasian friend you had. When things hit the fan, where was he? He probably was the reason why things hit the fan. But after that, where did he go? Where was he? You out partying with them, doing your thing with them, having a good old time, getting as high and as drunk as you possibly can, forgetting about all your problems. And next thing you know, you wake up in a park somewhere, don't know what happened, blacked out. No, none of them around you. They just dropped you off in a park and left you. You know what I'm saying? That sister that I was talking about, that went to a party with all her Caucasian friends. Nice little sleepover for grown folks to go to. I'm talking about this sister was in her 40s. I don't know what 40-year-olds having sleepovers, but she was having a sleepover. She went to the sleepover, having a good old time. She ends up dead. Guess what? None of them know what happened. Other than like, I don't know. What you talking about? They'll abide for a while, but when things hit the fan, they disappear. They don't know what happened. They don't know you or what happened. You know what I'm saying? These are the type of people that you're dealing with. Let's continue. Verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Like they could say nice things. They say nice things to you all the time. I mean, I don't know how many nice things Biden said that got you Negroes to vote for him. I don't know what he said. But he said something nice to you to make them vote for him. Look what he did. Look at his history. So he definitely said something nice when you count his history. And what has he done for you since? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Our enemy will tell you a bunch of nice, sweet things. He would tell you a bunch of nice, sweet things. And next thing you know, you just done. You're destroyed. You're hurting. You're jammed up. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And that's crazy because Karens are proof of that. Karens will weep with their eyes. Ooh. When a white woman cries, a black man dies. That's how the saying goes, right? That saying should be taken very seriously because it's very true. Scripture just said it. Let me repeat it. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Yeah, they'll pull out your heartstrings, but as soon as they get a chance, your blood just won't be enough. Your blood won't be enough. They want more than your blood. Look at all these police officers. They're not satisfied with just your blood. They're not satisfied with your death. What they wanted in the first place was your obedience. They want you to see them as God. That's when they're satisfied. You should never see them as God. I seen a video not too long ago. These freaking police officers throwing a sister into a police car, and the sister degraded, fell back, dropped back into slave talk. She was calling those police officers master. Master, can you help me? Master, can you? While she's all just thrown in there, all twisted and uncomfortable, beaten down and broken. And what did those bastards do? Nothing. She degraded back to a slave. She didn't call them officer. She called them master. And that's what they truly want, your obedience. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. If adversity come up upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Listen, every black problem that we have, guess who's at the root of it? Guess who's at the root of every problem we have as a people? Let's not even say as a people. Guess who's at the root of every problem you have as an individual? Think about it. What problem do you have? Well, you can barely pay rent. There's barely enough jobs. Jobs don't pay enough for you to even survive, to pay rent, to pay your bills. Bills are too high and you don't get paid enough. You know what I'm saying? You got to work 2, 3 jobs. You're tired. Who's at the root of all this? You would like to enjoy life. You would like to go on trips. You would like to, you know what I'm saying, chill out, relax. For you to do that, you're going to have to put in more hours, break your back a little more, suffer a little longer. And while you're doing all that suffering, while you're doing all that back breaking, who knows what can happen to you? You're tired. You're driving back home. You crash out. Now you paralyzed. Who knows? But the root to every problem you have as a nation and as an individual could be pointed back to one group of people, and that is our enemy and his greed and his lust and his wants and his desires. That's where all our problems stem from. That's where all our problems stem from. This fool said we made the earth a better place. That's European whites. When we left Europe. I don't know if you made the world a better place. The world is barely holding itself together because of y'all. Because of y'all, the ozone layer is thin. Because of y'all, so many animals are extinct and they're bound to be extinct. Because of y'all, every problem on this planet, from the ozone layer to me stubbing my toe, every issue on this planet can be drawn back to y'all. So I don't know if y'all made the world a better place. I doubt that. I mean, look at all the things y'all done. A better place. Nuclear world is about this close. This close. Y'all made the world a better place, huh? We'll see. We'll see. Verse 18. Oh, yeah, though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Let me tell you, he pretended to help us in 1968, 69, and the 70s. They pretended to help us with this housing situation and this welfare and all this other stuff. That they pretended to help. They pretend to help you. But the truth is, it's undermining us. It's keeping us weak and subservient. And the funny thing is, we're not the ones that benefit from those programs like that. We're not the ones that benefit. Look at the housing. They make these giant buildings or these complexes, and then they neglect them, then they become slums, and now everybody got a struggle in them. They created welfare, and guess who benefits from welfare? Them issues. The issues benefit from welfare the most. Everybody benefits from welfare. Everybody. So it wasn't for us. Equal work opportunity, equal employment opportunity. Who benefits from that more than anybody? Asian women. If you get an Asian woman, you supplied everything. You cross all the T's and dotted all the I's in that. You don't have to hire a Negro at all. You know what I'm saying? They say they helped us. But all they did was undermine us. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Last verse of Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 18. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. He will. That's about as disrespectful as it gets. That's about as disrespectful as it gets. I ain't gonna hold you. Man, these cats are hunting our steps, man. And the quicker we realize that, the safer we'll be. The quicker we realize that they have nothing but our blood on their mind. You know what I'm saying? The quicker we'll be to stay away from them and join together and build together and survive together. You know what I'm saying? Let's drop that. Let's get on Zephaniah 2 and 1. Let's go to the milk of the milk. Let's go to the milk of the milk. All right. If you're there with me, Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. It's telling a group of people to gather themselves together, to separate from everybody else and gather together. That's completely against what the Christian church teaches. But let's see who is it talking to. Gather yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together, O nation not desired. Who is that nation not desired? Who is that nation not respected, looked down upon with all types of disgust? That is us Black, Hispanics, and natives. We are that nation that's not desired. We are that nation looked down upon. And the Lord told us to gather together because he never wanted us to integrate with everybody else from the beginning. He wanted us to just be amongst each other, take care of each other, love each other. Because that is the only way we'll be free. Segregation is freedom. That's the bottom line of it. Segregation is love. Because if you integrating with everybody else, that means you're not showing your own people love. You're showing your enemy love. You know what I'm saying? You got two restaurants right next to each other that open. You got a black restaurant serving all types of delicious food, and you got a white restaurant serving just cooked food. Who are you going to go to? Who are you going to show your love to? Who? Scripture says, gather yourselves together. Know why? Because we are not together. We are integrated with everybody else. Everybody else gets our love. Everybody else gets our appreciation. Everybody else gets our business. Everybody else gets our respect and admiration, but each other. So the scripture telling us to gather together is telling us the solution to all our problems. Integration is not the solution. Segregation is the solution. Matter of fact, that's a t-shirt. I'm going to get on it. Segregation is the solution. It's just that simple. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to work. It's us loving each other. That's how it worked before. When we were fresh out of them chains, we had no choice but to end on each other. Our enemy wasn't giving us jobs like that. And when they did, they gave us low jobs. You know what I'm saying? They gave us bottom of the barrel jobs, paid us pennies. And we had to hold on to them pennies. 30 of us in the house. Like, that's what disgusts me about my people today. We'll talk trash about how Asians are 30 in the house, but that is solving their issue in this country. That's what we used to do. And that is a benefit. I know you want your privacy, bang, bang, but you got to suffer with your people. You got to suffer through that. Is your privacy more important than freedom? Your privacy more important than independence? You know what I'm saying? You clown the agents for being 30 in the house when that was proven to work for us. Would be like 3 generations in the house. You got big mama, mama, auntie, cousins, uncles, father, all in the house. All in one household. 3 generations deep. And that's how we were able to prosper, because all those pennies sustained all those bills. Now, if we kept all our pennies, God came together, the 3 generations in the house today, all those pennies coming together, we'll be able to build a Black Wall Street again. We'll be able to build a Rosewood and a Seneca Village again. We'll be able to have Black businesses and Black corporations and Black, inventions and resources. We'll be able to have all that if we just came together. If we just came together and started desiring each other. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get with Revelations 18:4. I go with Revelations 18:4. Hold on. No, let's go back to the Apocrypha. Let's go with 2nd Ezra 6:54. Let's keep it milky. Let's keep it milky. We're going to 2nd Ezra. All right, if you're there, read along with me. This is going to cut the Christian church and this God love everybody theory like that fool was saying earlier. That fool earlier was talking about how God loves everybody, Christ loves everybody, and everybody should love everybody. Let me tell you something. That's not reality. That's very LGBTQ. You can't love everybody. It's not even realistic thinking to love everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. You have children, or if you don't, you can put yourself in these shoes. Your child is molested. Should you love the person that molested your child? Should the rapist be loved or should the victim be loved? There's criminals and there's victims. Criminals should not be loved. Give the victim your love. Everybody can't be loved. I don't know what's that whole way of thinking is very LGBTQ and it's madness. It's insanity. It's insanity. Everybody can't love everybody. You know what I'm saying? But let's get with it. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. Look, everybody comes from Adam. Everybody today comes from Adam, mainly do. Not because Adam's the first man. That's Christian dogma. That's not real. We all come from Adam because the simple fact is every other people was destroyed by the flood. And Noah was a descendant of Adam. And Noah's children were the progenitors of everybody that's on the planet today. So we all come from Adam. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. And the people also whom thou hast chosen. Every human comes from Adam, even those who God has chosen, which are the Israelites, which are the Black, Hispanic, and Native people. They come from Adam too. Everybody comes from Adam, right? Christians would love that part. We all come from Adam. We're all humans. We're all the same. We all bleed. I understand. We all come from Adam. Congrats. But what else does it say? Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. God made the world for his chosen people's sakes. He made the world for Israelites' sakes. The world belongs to us. The world belongs to Israelites. Let's continue. As for the other people, as for everybody else that came from Adam, yeah, we came, but you made the world for us. But as for everybody else, what do they get? Which also come from Adam, they also come from Adam. Everybody else, all your Asians, all your East Indians, all your Africans, all your Europeans, all your Hawaiians, and all them, all your Australians, all them came from Adam too. Everybody comes from Adam, right? Thou hast said that they are nothing. Look, for everybody that believes God loves everybody, understand this. God said that every other nation besides Israel is nothing. Is nothing. God said everybody else is nothing. Let's continue. But be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Listen, all those other nations, God counts them as nothing. They are like spittle. They're not even spit. They are spittle. You know, when you're talking, that mist comes out your mouth. That's what they are. They are spittle. They're not even full blown spit. They're not something that you hock up and spit out. No, they are spittle. You know what I'm saying? And likened the abundance of them, likened the majority of them, the abundance of them, unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. If you got a cup, right? You got a cup. In that cup, you got your favorite soda. It's a hot day, and as they pour in the soda, it overflows a bit, and a drop trickles down the cup, falls down onto the ground. How would you feel about that drop? How would you feel about that drop? That drop is nothing. That's how Asians are to God. Nothing. That's how Caucasians are unto God. Nothing. That's how Africans are unto God. Nothing. If you ain't an Israelite, you are nothing. It's a hard pill to swallow. I understand. But it's a beautiful thing. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. I got one more verse I can get into. Which one should I do? Which one should I do? Let's go to Lamentations 4 and 17. This is going to be the last verse of the class. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, who is us? The us is us blacks, Hispanics, and natives, right? As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain hope. Like our eyes are looking for help. Our eyes are looking for peace. Our eyes are looking for a whole lot of things, and we are not getting it. And plus, the thing that we're looking for is vain. They're not truly beneficial in the first place. So our eyes have failed for our vain hope. You know what I'm saying? In our watching, we watched for a nation that could not save us. We looked for a nation, that nation being our enemy, that nation being Caucasians. We look for them to save us. We look for them to help us. That's why we vote. That's why we march. We're looking for them to help us. But they can't help us. You know why they can't help us? Let's continue. Because they hunt our steps. They are hunting us. It's plain and simple. They are hunting Black, Hispanic, and Native people. They hunt our steps. You know what I'm saying? That we cannot go in our streets. We can't even walk our own streets safely. We can't even walk our own streets safely. You know what I'm saying? Our end is near and our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Things are about to hit the fan, y'all. It's either you get down with your brothers and sisters or be a victim to those who hate you. The choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get into the class, I suggest that you see that number right there? See that number? Call that number so you can get down with your people. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And If you want to be a trooper in the school, get an all black, black shirt, black pants, black headscarf. That's our tradition. It's a symbolization of you cleansing yourself of this hellhole and the poison that you have been given your whole life. You know what I'm saying? And if you are interested in a brother or a sister in the school, you got to get that brother or sister in that school 6 months to cleanse themselves of this world. Cleanse themselves of this world, give them 6 months. And if their teacher, if their head deems them ready to date, to court, then you go to their head and tell them your interests. You know what I'm saying? And if you are a sister in the school and you're interested in joining this work, get in this school, cleanse yourself for the world, earn yourself a Hebrew name. You know what I'm saying? And we got the Chicago Fire Weekend coming in at the end of next month. The Chicago Fire Weekend, that is a glorious time, and I've been there many a times. Won't be there this year, but I will. I'll be there spiritually with my brothers, man. I'm going to donate. I'm going to do what I could do to make that event a glorious event. And with that, shalom.